Hi scientists, I've got a super fun experiment for you today. This one, a little dangerous, pretty messy. I have to do it outside and you actually can't do it at home, so you're just gonna have to watch. This experiment uses a really explosive gas, fire, and a watermelon. If you guessed right, it is a watermelon explosion, hence why I need to be outside for my experiment today. It's really fun, and it shows how, if you light certain gases on fire, there's a lot of energy released, and we get an explosion. But first, before we get to the fun part of actually exploding the watermelon, I'm going to tell you a little bit about why this actually works as a watermelon explosion. So the first thing that I did is I actually carved out the inside of my watermelon. I'm going to carve it. I carved it kind of like a jack-o'-lantern, like you would carve a pumpkin. And inside, I put a little petri dish of water, and then I put something special called calcium carbide. They look like little rocks. And what happens when you mix calcium carbide with water, you get something called acetylene gas. And acetylene gas is highly flammable. So as soon as it mixes with oxygen and I give it a little bit of a nudge with my blowtorch, we're gonna get a massive explosion, hopefully, out of our watermelon. When we have gases that have a lot of energy in them, like acetylene and oxygen, and we put them in a really small space, they're not super happy. They kind of are moving around and they're all stuck in this really tiny space. And then when I give them that little bit of a nudge with the fire, with the blowtorch, what happens is all of that energy is released in a big explosion. And that's what happens with a lot of explosions. We have a fuel source and we give it just a little bit of energy, and a lot of times that energy comes in the form of fire, and we get a massive explosion. Acetylene gas and oxygen with calcium carbide was actually used historically in miners' lamps. And what they would do is they'd have on their hard hats on their heads, they would have a little lamp that they would put calcium carbide and it would drip water, and then they would light that and they would use that fire inside the mines to light their way. That wasn't super safe. So once the invention of electricity and we were able to create batteries and we were able to have safer lamps in mines, people really didn't use acetylene lamps anymore in the mines, but it's still a tool that people can use today. So with our explosion, like I said before, do not try this at home. It is not safe for you to attempt by yourself. That's why I'm going to do it for you today, because I can do it safely. I can show you exactly how cool it is. I have my safety equipment on. I'm going to get my watermelon ready to go. All right, 3, 2, 1. As you can see, pretty explosive.